No, I'm fine. No, that's fine.
Hi, welcome to the 2023 Super Regional Press Conference. First up for Southern Miss, we have Tanner Hall, who's a starting pitcher, went 4 1/3 innings, 5 strikeouts. Shortstop Dustin Dickerson, he was 2 for 4 on the day with 1 RBI, and Coach Scott Berry. We'll open it up for questions.
Coach, Hunter Dawkins, Gazebo Gazette, Super Talk News. Tell me about, obviously this morning, you had a lot of faith bringing out Justin, and then you get the game through, not giving up runs. Then you come back here. The hitting looks like it's doing great. Just a little bit of the fielding. What things like that are you going to work on, or you're telling them to work on?
Well, I mean, tomorrow's a survival. You know, we faced it in Auburn last week, you know, where situation was we either win or the season's over, and obviously we're in the same situation. You know, Dollander was really good today. You know, he's still throwing 96, 97 there in the 9th inning. I mean, he didn't tire a bit. And of course, Burns, you know, comes in relief after we get the walk, and he's triple digits. So, you know, good power arms, but you know, a long day. We picked up where we left off last night. You know, the momentum was stalled out with the delay and had to come back. And you know, credit Tennessee for being able to come back, score 3 runs real quick off from that. And, you know, in that situation, Armistead obviously didn't do what he wanted to do, a couple walks and hit batter. But, you know, moving forward, I told him at that point when we made the decision to go to Justin and ride it all the way out and let him finish it, I told him, you're going to be a big part in this series. When it's all over, get your mind right, flush it, and get ready to go. And certainly that will be the case tomorrow moving forward with him.
Tanner, you cruised through the first 3 innings. What happens in that 5th inning? What kind of went wrong?
I mean, I feel like they were just really getting their timely hits. It wasn't really, you know, something that I felt like I was doing differently. I felt like I was making the same pitches. I definitely left the pitch or 2 up to make it a little easier for them, but they definitely capitalized on the mistakes I made and along with mistakes in the field, and I think that's why they were able to get that momentum and keep rolling and just made that inning a lot longer than it should have been. But yeah, I felt like I was making pitches, but they were getting the good swings off and putting the ball in play, and that's something you have to do in the game, especially when your backs are against the wall like them. And I feel like they did it well in that inning and really capitalized.
For Dustin, you know, recent weeks you guys have kind of proven that you've been pretty good at flushing things. What needs to happen over the next 24 hours for that to happen here?
The same message that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. We've dealt with it before, and we're going to deal with it again. You know, we got a veteran group of guys in that locker room, and we're definitely going to be ready to play tomorrow.
Coach, the right to go to Omaha in Game 3, I guess if you guys were faced with this scenario at the beginning of the season, is it safe to say you guys would take this scenario in a heartbeat just to win 1 game to get to the College World Series?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, there was 305 Division I schools that started out this season, and now with the eliminations, I don't know going into this weekend. You know, there were 16 left standing, and certainly there's been a couple of 3 that have punched their ticket and moved on, but you know, there's 8 sites with two teams in these supers that are trying to be one of 8, and you know, obviously the goal is to be where we are right now, but the ultimate goal is to get to that next step. And you know, last year we were here and we saw the wall and we weren't able to knock it over, and this year we're one win away from knocking that wall over. And you know, I think you know, the attitude that we have tomorrow coming out, and just the belief in ourselves. You know, we talk a lot about the mental side and how our biggest ally is our mind and how we think, and because it's going to tell our body how to react. And certainly at this point, you got to deal with some adversity. They brought the fight back into the middle of the ring, and it's winner take all tomorrow. So, we need to be strong mentally to come out and compete. Tennessee's a very good club. We know that, and they showed that today. Answering after a 4 spot, coming back and being able to create the inning that they did. The home run that Burks hit, I mean, you can go back and look at it. I guarantee you that thing was below the knees. And, somebody would probably say it was hanging, but it wasn't. It was a really good pitch. Really good pitch. He just made a good swing on it. And certainly that proved in his favor there.
Yeah, Dustin, what was going so well for Chase Dollander? I guess especially it seemed like as he settled in through the later innings there.
I mean, he's a really good pitcher. We got to him early on, and he kind of settled in after that. I mean, he's got an electric fastball. He's got 3 other pitches that he can land for strikes to keep you off balance. His fastball got some more ride as the game went on, and that's a credit to him and how good of a pitcher he is.
Also for you, Dustin, with the emotions of winning a game and losing a game all on the same day, how are you guys going to come back as a lineup, and what's the message that you guys go through pregame tomorrow?
The message is you win and go to Omaha, or you lose and your season's done. We've been faced with this past couple weeks. We've had many opportunities to go home, to fold and go home, and we've yet to do that. And I expect the group to be ready to play tomorrow.
Tanner, what was the pitch he hit out? What was the pitch?
That was a slider, just down in middle. It was down the middle.
Thanks. David Edelstein with WJTV in Jackson. What did you guys maybe learn from the regional round when you did have to win those 4 facing elimination in a row that might be useful in a game like tomorrow where it's the same situation? And this could go to all 3 of you or any of you who are inclined to answering.
Well, what I saw within this group was the leadership within, the ability to not quit and understand the sense of urgency and the willingness to continue to let the season play on. There's some teams out there that the loss they can't get over it, and they can't move past it. And, particularly in that regional, I mean, we're talking about the first game, of that regional. So pretty tough when you get right off in the losers bracket and have to win 4 straight. So that's what I saw. I saw a collective group of young men who have tremendous leadership from within and have a tremendous belief in themselves. And, I hope that's what they'll draw strength tomorrow from in the past experience, because that's what it teaches us. It teaches us how to deal with things in the future, whether it's success or failure. It's always an opportunity to learn moving forward.
Coach, what do you think mentally changed for your players after Tennessee put up that 6-run inning?
I don't know. I think really, honestly, probably Dollander just got a lot of confidence, in that situation. He gives up a 4 spot, Sargent hits a 3-run homer, and then his team, just like, if it was our team, we answer back. And, that guy on the mound, all of a sudden he feels like it's not by himself anymore. He's got others around him, and their team responded. They were able to lead off that inning with a double and, situational hitting. They got a ball through on the right side. And, we had 4 errors on the game, too, and a couple of those runs came off an error that would have kept it. I wished it 2 runs. And, who knows what happens there with 4 innings or 4 innings left to play. But that's how it goes sometimes. I think that probably Dollander fed a little bit off from that with his team responding.
We have time for 2 more questions.
Scott, just where do you feel like your pitching is at heading into this next game? And then just do you feel like Armistead will be available for this next one?
Absolutely. He will be available. And I will count on him to be available and go out and compete because I know who he is. I know what he's made up about. So, today he didn't have a very good outing, obviously, but it didn't cost us anything. And moving forward, hopefully, from that experience, it'll make him better tomorrow. I think we can sit here and we can check off the people that won't be available with it, and then of course, those that are, would be expected to go out there and compete for their team and the best they can and win.
Final question.
Tanner, this is for you. I know today didn't go the way you wanted to, but just if you could, kind of recapitulate your time here at Southern Miss and how you've developed, in this program and, just everything you've been able to do here.
Yeah, I mean, my time here has been a dream come true, honestly. The opportunities I've had is something that, a lot of guys would be itching to have. And just, to have Coach Barry, give me that chance, and along with Coach Oz and all the other coaches to allow me to, go out there and try to show who I am, it definitely makes me feel like this is a family, and that's what we are. We were really close. All the players are close. Even with all the newcomers that came in, we got close with them very fast, and I think that's kind of just the Southern Miss way. We're brothers, and we know what it takes to win. And I feel like that's why this program is so good, is because we do what it takes to win. And when we come after a tough loss, we come back out and we're fighting. And that just shows what we did, in regionals in the past, and even, this past regional we just played in, is that we fight, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is my home, I feel like, and I feel like they took me in and developed me to the best I could be. And I think that's just amazing. And yeah.
Coach Barry, Tanner, Dustin, thank you guys for your time. Best of luck in Game 3 tomorrow.
Thank you.
That concludes this portion of the press conference. Now for the Tennessee Volunteers winner of Game 2 in the Hattiesburg Super Regional of 2023, we have Coach Tony Vitello, starting pitcher Chase Dollander, 8 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts on the afternoon. Jared Dickey, 1 for 5, and an RBI. We'll open it up for questions now.
Jared, what did you see on the hit that put you guys ahead for good there, and kind of how emotional of a win is this in coming from behind fashion?
Yeah, no, it's a big-time win for us. I think really just trying to focus on just staying to the ball. We knew that he was going to, he had a little bit of ASR on his fastball, and then he was going to throw his changeup a good bit. So kind of just trying to sit one of those pitches, and got a pitch to hit and just did damage with it.
For both Jared and Tony, that fourth inning, what went so well for everyone, but how important was Cal Starks at bat in that stretch there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have as many baseball terms as Jared just did there in one answer, but there was a lot of fight with the whole group, and Cal Stark was kind of our leader. I mean, that was an incredible AB. He grinded it out, and we didn't have that stuff going on earlier in the year where we responded like that after a difficult inning or picked each other up. Whatever it might be. But, as the season went on, we've come together. And so, we'll look forward to it tomorrow and see if we can continue to do that.
Yeah, no, building off what he said, earlier in the year, we wouldn't do that for each other. And just how close this team's gotten, it's really special. And, I think we're just doing great things right now. And credit to Cal. He's been working his butt off. Probably works harder than most people that I know. I mean, you should have seen his face there in the 5th inning or 6th. I mean, it looked like he was dying, but he's just putting his life on the line for us, so it was awesome to see.
For Chase and Tony, Chase, just how big was that big 6-run inning for you to kind of collect yourself after you gave up the homer, and what allowed you to settle in from that point on? And then, Tony, your vantage point of what Chase was able to do after that inning and then almost throwing a complete game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely calmed me down a lot, just knowing that these guys had my back behind me. And, Zane made that diving play in that same inning, and he's like, I got you. So I just started throwing more strikes, just started attacking hitters the way I needed to, and things just started to take off for me, which is really good.
Yeah, I think we would like to delete one pitch from that inning, but otherwise, he was doing what he needed to do. He was going up against good competition, and they had a couple things work together for him, so it made for a difficult inning. But, in terms of the rest of the game, it's kind of been the theme. I mean, it's why I think he's going to be so good in pro ball, is the reps add up in pro ball. And as he kind of gets in a rhythm when he's pitching for us, he's been really good all year long.
Tony, we've asked you about Blake a lot over the last month or so, and you talked last week about how his process was better, but just how good was it to see him deliver those 2 big hits, and what went right for him in those at-bats?
Yeah, well, he earned a Dairy Queen birthday cake. It's his birthday. And I just stand by the thing we talked about in Knoxville. The position he's in to hit kind of dictates the result of how it's going to go. And you may hit a ball hard and not get a hit out of it, or you might foul pitch off whatever it might be, but if you had a predictor on his at-bats, when he's in a good position to hit, really good things happen. And he's facing it's a tough look there for him, obviously a difficult pitcher to face. But kind of like Cal, got determined, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 strikes and really got into his legs, and it made the difference on that particular pitch.
Chase, Tony, why do you think it's so important for the rhythm as well as the resiliency of you guys after the 4th inning?
Yeah, I think you have to show, whether it's runs or not, you have to show that you're in the fight. And this is an emotional deal for kids. It's why they, and we kind of act like kids too as coaches. So maybe, we get too much leeway. But I think you got to give everybody a little bit of benefit of the doubt with their emotions, whether they're near a dugout or the other or on the field, because there's so much going on. But if you get beat down, you get beat down, you get beat down, it's hard to have positive vibes or positive emotions. So to respond in a way to that, challenging inning where he gets a breather, first of all, but also just to show that we're truly in the fight was really important. And in the first game, we did that to start the day. And, Storm was so good, we couldn't finish the job. But that mentality and that approach made it a winning day for us.
Yeah, just kind of going based off of what he said, just knowing that this team can come back from something like that just builds a lot of confidence for us, and like you said, builds that resiliency in us. And I feel like that's going to help us a lot down the road. I know we don't have much more to go, but just being able to have that knowledge of what we need to do and how we need to do it is just huge for us.
Kind of following up on the emotions, Tony, how high were they running? Especially, it looked like some back and forth with the home plate ump and Frank and him talking and things like. Was it getting a little out of control at that point, and how did you kind of corral that?
Yeah, probably me out of control. I think Frank was kind of more trying to angle and make points, and then he was doing a good job of kind of keeping us at bay because Hall works so quick, and we talked about it. He preys on frustration, and he does a lot to frustrate you because he's so good. And one of those things is to work really quick. And we had talked about making sure we take our time or take ownership of the box and be ready to go when you're ready to go. So that's kind of how that flared up. But I think it was handled well, especially, like I said, because, we're all fired up over on our side. But again, when you're fighting for your season, whether it be one of the 2 teams here or anywhere across the country, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We saw that in our regional and we saw it here. So thankfully, it led to a good finish, but there's all kinds of ups and downs going on over in that dugout.
Coach Chase mentions about the play at third by Zane. Obviously, hindsight 2020 now and how you were able to respond after that. But in the moment, did it feel like maybe a game changer, or now does it feel like a game changer? Yeah, it does. Now, to be honest with you, it's difficult to have much feeling about anything. It was such a long day, and it was a long night last night. Per the weather, we're sitting around waiting, so it feels like it's been a week-long deal, but you wouldn't have it any other way. You certainly want to be playing more than you want to be, at home or not getting the opportunity to play, so we're grateful for that. But it's been a long day, and I think the vibe I got from our dugout, it was a quick good job. Chase certainly, Burnsy finished the game and with an exclamation, but it was a quick turn of page and, keep coming together tomorrow.
Coach, this one's for you. Yesterday, completely different day. Southern Miss goes up 4-0, but today, obviously, different day, so things change. What did you see differently from USM today?
I got to be honest. We just walked past some of their players, and you got to say good job. I'm looking at the box score for something that stands out. But, the first inning, we got a good punch from them. But at the same time, we could have made a play here, could have made a play there. So I really didn't see that huge of a difference. The scoreboard obviously dictates opinions of fans and media, and you look at the stat sheet and all that. But this is what it's supposed to be, is good competition. Last year, our team talked all the time about fierce and deep competition is what you want. That's what Tom Brady, I believe, spoke on in his retirement deal, one of his retirement deals. So he's still retired, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Final 3 questions right here.
Yeah, Jared, your 2-strike approach, are you shortening up more now than you did early in the season, or has anything changed there for you?
I'm not going to lie to you guys. That last at bat where I did it, I was kind of just trying something because I couldn't pick up the ball from that guy. So, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow or not. I guess I'll talk to him about it.
Doing that before that key hit in the fourth there, or you got it short at that point?
Oh, no, I wouldn't have short at that point.
Honesty is the best policy, I guess.
Absolutely.
Tony, Burke's home run's one of the longest I've ever seen hit here, one hop the church. I don't want to sound like a stupid question, but how big was it at that time in the game?
Well, they say in school, I didn't pay attention that much, but every question's a good question. I think, it's kind of like a basketball game. 2 points is 2 points. And I'm only referencing, I've been buddies with basketball coaches that are good dudes, and we got the best dude ever at our place. But, sometimes when you have an emphatic dunk, it can kind of shift the momentum a little bit. So, yeah, at times for us this year, he's hit them so long, it kind of changes the entire mood in the dugout, not just based off the scoreboard. Now, for today, I think it was just, again, to make sure we got something on the board. And, we knew we were facing that guy. Come on, everybody in the park knows he's one of their best guys because they got a lot of good pitchers, but you got your work cut out for you when you're facing that guy. And you never know, it could turn into a frustrating day where you're hitting some balls hard like Hunter Inslee did early in the game, but you'd like something to show for it, and he gave us something to show for it. And, yeah, it did have a little extra to it, which was great, but that's something we've seen out of him since Grand Canyon. If you've ever been to that school, you're sitting him in the parking garage. So he's capable of doing that, again, when he uses his best swing.
Question.
Tony, Jared just has 2 hits so far this weekend, but both 2 outs, 2 strike, RBI hits. Why is he able to deliver in those clutch moments when he's maybe not at his best?
You want to chime in or not? To me, to not sound too corny, Jared Dickey's always at his best. An interesting beginning to our relationship in his time on campus, and ever since then, every day is an incredible day to be around Jared Dickey, and I'd say it whether he's sitting here or not. And maybe, again, parallel to our team. In August, it wasn't a fun team to be around. It was awkward. And there was a lot of space between the players and the coaches, the players and the players, even the players and the managers on a couple of occasions. And since then, we've been coming together. And again, I think the cool thing about these guys, it was an emotional win, but there was a quick reflection on it, and then move forward to tomorrow and give us another day so we can try and come together a little bit more.
Coach Vitello, Chase, Jared, congratulations on the big win today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys.